Hello and welcome to Mobility Monday. My name is Maggie. I'm a licensed physical therapist assistant with a bachelor's degree in exercise science. Today I'm going to be taking you through a 5-minute total spine mobility class. We're going to be seated, so this would be a great mobility exercise to do at your desk. If you need a little break, your neck starts hurting, your back starts hurting, take this 5-minute class. You're going to feel much better. And also, as I mentioned last week, if you have a little bit of balance issues, this class is also great because we're going to be seated the whole time. So let's get started. First, we're going to work through our cervical spine mobility, and I want you to do some rotations with me. So you're just going to look over your left shoulder and then look over to your right. So we're going to do about 10 in each direction, nice and slow. And I just want you to kind of take up the slack, right? So we're not forcing range of motion. We're just going to, you feel like a little natural stopping point, which should get a little bit further with each repetition. That is how this is designed, so that we can not only maintain our spinal mobility, but improve on it as well. So we're going to do one more to each side, and then we're going to work into a little bit of cervical side bending. So that is just taking your ear kind of down to your shoulder. And as I said last week, this one is a little bit restricted for me. I still need to work on my upper trap flexibility. So also while we're doing this, make sure you're not hiking your ears up to your shoulders. You want to keep them down. That also helps to stretch the upper traps. You could even hold on to the side of your chair while you're doing this so that I know that your shoulders aren't propping up, okay? So I can feel them getting down a little bit further to each side. Let's do 2 more. So it's just straight side bend, ear down to the shoulder. 1 more. Perfect, okay, so next we're gonna go into cervical flexion and extension. So you're gonna take your chin down. If you can reach your chest, that's great. If not, like I said, don't force it. And then we're gonna look up towards the ceiling. So work through this with me. You can also kind of bring in a little bit of breath work with this as well. Inhaling on the way down, exhaling on the way up. So even if, spinal mobility isn't your thing, not your main goal, this is also just great for relaxation. So again, if you're at work and you just need a quick 5-minute reset, this is a great class. And then this one, if you do have any type of vertigo issues, make sure, you might want to shorten your range. You don't have to go the whole way. You could get a little bit dizzy while doing this if you go too fast. So slow it down, don't go the whole way if you have vertigo issues. So, okay, great. So now we've worked through all the range of motion of the cervical spine. We're going to get into the thoracic and lumbar spine. So we're going to also start with just little rotations. So if you have a desk or you're at a chair with a armrest, that's great. So you can reach across, grab that armrest. If you're not in a chair with armrest, just kind of grab a hold of your hip. Or you could even grab a hold of just your arm on the other side. But I already felt a couple cracks with this one. If you don't have any back pain or problems and you want to get more range of motion, you can kind of pull a little bit to get a little bit more mobility here. But again, as long as you're staying in your pain-free range of motion, if you're getting pain, that's your body's way of telling you you're stressing those tissues a little bit too much. I lost count here, but I think about 2 more to each side. Now I'm in somewhat of a fancy looking chair just because it's the only chair in my house that has armrests. So this is a little bit wide for me. Your chair's probably not this wide, but I want to try the side bending then. So if you have the chair with armrests, you're going to take your arms out to the side and kind of reach down through your available range of motion. Now, like I said, this chair's a little bit wide for me, so the arms do stop me, but I do feel a stretch. So when we're going to our left, we're feeling the right side of the spine stretch out. And so you just want to make sure that you're not forcing, again, the range of motion, staying in your pain-free range of motion. And One side might feel a little bit tighter than the other. That's normal. You might want to come back and spend a little extra time on that tight side. And you don't have to put your arms down like this if you'd rather kind of cross over. I actually do get a little bit more range here, being like I said that my chair is so wide and the armrests stop me, so I get to actually do a little bit more range of motion by crossing my arms over my chest here. And with that being said, you could also have done your rotations this way. So one more to each side, and then we're going to go to the flexion and extension of the thoracic and lumbar spine. So you want to scooch to the edge of your chair a little bit for this one. We're going to start inhaling, exhaling, reaching towards the floor, and bringing it back up. And now you could go arms overhead, or same thing with the last one. If you would like to cross, you get a little bit of extension at the top. So you want to make sure you're kind of leaning back at the top to get that extension as well, okay? And you might not reach the floor with each one like I am. You're going to go to wherever you feel a good stretch and no pain. So I always say like a mild to moderate stretch. Like a severe or intense stretch is a little bit too much for what our goals are for today. So, okay, so let's do 2 more here. And like I said, you can pause the video if you would like to do a little bit longer of a hold. Like if your back is really tight and this feels good to stay down here, you can take 10 to 30 seconds, stay down there, stretch it out. But you can always hit pause on the class. So, okay, so that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. This is a great class to do to break up the work day and make sure you're not getting stiff through the spine. If you would please rate this class and give me a review. I'm a new instructor here. I don't have any ratings yet. I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much for your time.